Here we are. It is day 34 of the Feast for the Soul. I am so happy you're here and feasting along with us. It's quite a life changer to make that 40-day commitment. And as you probably remember, the Feast for the Soul is based on some inspiration from a poem by Rumi. What 9 months does for a growing embryo, 40 early mornings will do for your growing awareness. Now, what doesn't really matter, I don't think, if it's the early morning where you are, but I think 40 days of dedicated spiritual practice will undoubtedly help you to transform and evolve. And transformation really means to change without the possibility of going back, much like a caterpillar turns into a butterfly. So for all you butterflies here, I'm happy to introduce you to a friend and a great teacher. Her name is Marcy Westcott, and I will put a little information about her in the chat. She's from Texas and has really, I'm going to just let you share a little bit about how you first found out about or deepened your meditation practice, Marcy, and introduce yourself a little bit. I'll spotlight you. Okay. Welcome.
Thank you, Sarah. I'm so grateful to be here with you and so grateful for you to have invited me and so excited to be here with everyone. I appreciate all of you coming on. So just a little bit about me. I'm Marcy Westcott. I'm founder of the Still State Meditation and Mindfulness. And in my first career, I spent 20 years in the automotive industry. And what that looked like for me is I worked 70 hours a week. Usually it was 6 days a week. And my workplace culture was toxic, and at times it was really overwhelming. And after about 15 years of that pace in that kind of environment, my health started to suffer. I developed high blood pressure, insomnia, digestive issues, and at one point I took medication for anxiety, all a result of the stress and the pressure that I was under in my work. And after about another 5 years, I reached year 20 and I basically burned out. So my husband and I decided to relocate from Kansas City, where we're from, and we came to Central Texas. And we've lived here now for about 17 years. When we moved here, I decided that I couldn't go back into my career again. And so I started a small business. But what became apparent is that I was still suffering from all of the stress and the anxiety that I had accumulated over all of those years and hadn't been able to manage properly to be able to release that. So one day, a friend of mine asked me to go to a yoga class with her. I'll be very honest with you and tell you that at the time, I didn't like yoga. I didn't want to do yoga, but I wanted to support her. So we went the next night and I meditated for the first time. The doors blew open for me. It was the most profound experience I had ever had. It felt like someone had lifted 1,000 pounds of weight off of me that I had been carrying around for all of those years. I started practicing every day, and within about 2 weeks, people were starting to see changes in me. I continued my practice looking for accessible ways for people to meditate and started recruiting my friends. We developed a small group where I led meditations with them. And that went on for probably about a year. And then in January of 2017, I purely by accident discovered, I'm sure it wasn't by accident, right? Discovered Feast for the Soul. And in that, I discovered Sarah. That really led me to hear the call to teach and propelled me onto the teacher's path. And 3 months later, I was enrolled in Sarah's Teacher Academy. So I think I said this to you earlier, Sarah, but I'm so grateful to you for inviting me here today, because it feels like a coming home. It feels like I've come full circle. So thank you for that. And thank you for all of you who are here today. I thought that the meditation that we could practice is called R.E.A.L meditation. And that stands for relax, engage, aware, and listen. And it's really a practice to help us promote self-awareness and self-discovery. So as we settle into a more relaxed state, we can engage in the present moment. And as we engage in the present moment, we can become aware of what's really going on inside of us. It's an opportunity for us to explore ourselves from the inside out, if you will. And in doing that, we can then listen to what our heart and our soul really has to say to us. So the way that we'll practice this is we'll start off with about a minute of long, slow, deep breathing, and then a very simple, short body scan to kind of get us into that relaxed space. Then we will focus on our breath, and we'll introduce a phrase or a word. So we call this a mantra practice. Mantra meaning instrument for the mind. And this gives us the opportunity to anchor our attention to our practice. Once we've done that, we'll be in silence for a few minutes, and then we'll move into really exploring this interior, this internal landscape that we have. And at that point, we will move into what we call a questioning meditation. And so this questioning meditation, or self-inquiry, as it's often called, is an opportunity for us to ask ourselves some questions and to listen. This is really not about forcing an answer or trying to create one. It's about asking a question and being comfortable in the silence and listening deep down beyond our ego and beyond our self-image to hear what our heart and our soul has to say to us. We'll meditate for probably between 23 to 25 minutes, right around there. And Sarah, are we ready to get started?
I think we're ready. I'm so excited, Marcy, to be guided by you, and so glad you're here.
Thank you. Why don't we all start by making sure that we have any electronic devices on silent? And I'll invite you to get comfortable where you're seated, or if you're lying down. And allow your eyes to gently float closed. Now, if you aren't comfortable closing your eyes, you can shift your gaze down in front of you. But if you can, close your eyes. And with your eyes closed, you may become more aware of sounds around you. Welcome everything you hear. Welcome sounds far away. And welcome sounds nearby. Sound is never a barrier to meditation. And also, with your eyes closed, you may become more aware of sensations in your body. Welcome those too, without resisting or telling yourself a story about them. And if at any time during the practice, your mind starts to wander away to a thought or a story, what someone else is doing, simply bring your attention right back here. Your breath and your body are always right here, right now. There's no need to try and force or create some kind of experience. Simply welcome whatever is. Stay with the practice, even if you start to feel a little restless. And most importantly, be kind and gentle to yourself. We have to be gentle with ourselves. So bring your attention to your breath, and we'll begin long, slow, deep breathing. Breathing into our belly. And as your breath rises up, your chest starts to expand. The clavicle area rises. And as you begin your exhale, clavicle area starts to come down. Chest starts to contract. Belly starts to contract. And then we begin all over again. The key here is to breathe slowly and deeply. We'll practice this for about a minute, and I'll keep track of the time. And you can allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm, its natural depth. And bring your attention to the top of your head, relaxing your scalp, relaxing your forehead, softening your eyes, softening your whole beautiful face. Unclench your jaw, relaxing your mouth and your tongue. Allow your shoulders to fall away from your ears, arms resting comfortably at your side or in your lap. Relaxing your chest, relaxing your upper back, relaxing your lower back, relaxing your belly, feeling your weight sink into your cushion or your chair, relaxing your hands, relaxing your upper legs, relaxing your lower legs, relaxing your feet, feeling your whole body soft and relaxed. and bring your attention to your breath. Notice the cool air as you inhale and the warm air as you exhale. Notice the sound of your breath as you inhale and exhale. Notice the sound and the sensation of your breath. Now we'll begin the practice of silently repeating a word or a phrase. We call this repeating a mantra. As you inhale, silently repeat right here. And as you exhale, silently repeat right now. Right here, as you inhale. Right now, as you exhale. If you'd like, you can shorten it to here as you inhale. And now, as you exhale. Inhaling to here, exhaling to now. We'll continue to meditate like this for a few more minutes. I'll watch the time. And now you can release the mantra and bring your attention again to the sound and the sensation of your breath. Notice where in your body you most feel your breath. Is it in your belly, your chest, your throat, or is it somewhere else? Notice where you feel your breath. And begin to notice other sensations in your body. Begin to explore where those sensations are. Notice where your body begins and ends. Notice the space that your body takes up. Notice where parts of your body meet each other, like your lips or your eyelids. Notice areas of lightness and heaviness. Notice pressure or emptiness. Notice coolness and notice warmth. Notice if you can feel your pulse. Can you feel your heartbeat? Notice the sound of your body. Can you hear your heart beating? Listen for the sound of your heart. And now, let's listen to what your heart has to say. Place your attention on the area of your heart. This is your heart center. And with each breath, you enliven its qualities of intelligence and wisdom. Get a sense of your breath in your heart center. And with your attention here, you can silently ask some questions. You'll silently ask the question and listen without expecting or creating an answer. Ask yourself, who am I? And then simply listen. If an answer doesn't arise, that's okay. This practice is about listening. And now ask yourself, why am I here? Why am I here? Ask the question and listen. And now you can ask yourself, what do I love? What do I really love? Asking and listening. And now ask yourself, what am I good at? Simply ask and listen. And now ask yourself, what does the world need? Asking and listening. And now we'll bring the questions to an end. Put them and any answers you might have heard deep in your heart center, allowing and trusting that the answers to the questions will appear at another time. Drift your attention away from your heart center, focusing once again on the sound and the sensation of your breath. We'll stay here for another minute. And keeping your eyes closed as we bring our practice to an end, allow the silence to surround you. And you can begin to give yourself some deeper breaths. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Stretch into your space, coming back into your space. It's always important to come out of meditation slowly. So when you're ready, there's no rush. With a downward gaze, you can slowly open your eyes. All right. So it looks like we have some folks coming back to us. One of the things that I have really come to cherish and value, not as just a teacher, but as a meditator, is how profoundly healing stillness is for me and for so many of my students. One of the things that I always think of, one of my favorite quotes is, "Silence isn't empty, it's full of answers." And I love to quote one of my heroes, Albert Einstein, who many people don't think of as being mindful, but he certainly was one of our most mindful geniuses. And he would say, "I think 99 times and find nothing. I stop thinking, swim in silence, and the answer comes to me." And I know that that has been true for me in my meditation path. And I hope it is for all of you as well.
Thank you so much, Marcy. I just
Thank
love
you,
that quote. Thank you. And that meditation practice was sublime. And your voice is
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I'm going to stop recording now and we'll connect with everyone who got to join us here live. Thanks for joining us and listening to this recording. Hope to see you again soon.